Is Charlton against Liverpool. The Addicks, despite being bottom but won in the Barclays Premiership, are unbeaten at the Valley since September, while their opponents have scored 8 goals in their last 2 league games. Jonathan Pearce saw this one.
He may be the bookies' favourite to be the next manager to be sacked, but Les Reed goes into this with the full backing of his board. They tell me he's staying, Alan Pardew isn't coming, and Darren Bent won't be going to join old boss Alan Curbishley at West Ham in January. After their 5-1 drubbing at Tottenham, Charlton make 5 changes. Keeper Carson is ineligible. Mura gets his first league appearance of the season. Hasselbank and Traore return from injury. Traore against his old club, of course. Holland and Romedal return. Reed pass fit after a hamstring injury. Rafa rotates 2. Huppier in for Agger. Gonzalez for Luis Garcia. The Bellamy-Kaut partnership again preferred. They've lost 8 of their last 10 league games in London. Liverpool have lost 3 of the last 4 games played between these clubs in the Premiership on this ground, and their away form has let their championship credentials down this season. Risa, who scored twice against Charlton a couple of seasons ago, one at home, one away. Finnan, and now Pennant. Traore with the throw. He played 140 games for Liverpool in his spell there. Gerrard, Xabi Alonso, it's gone through him, but free kick given for handball against Fight. One of the signings made by Ian Dowie. Alan Curbishley had 15 years at Charlton. Ian Dowie had 15 games. There goes Al Kakori. This was Gonzalez from the poor clearance away, and it was Pennant with the header. And the referee, I think, has given a penalty here. The cross by Gonzalez, and Traore's foot raised horribly high, and the former Liverpool player has given away a penalty against his old club. Xabi Alonso with a penalty. Liverpool have an early and dramatic lead. Just the sort of start he must have dreaded. Luke Young fails to clear here. Straight to Gonzalez. What was Traore doing, challenging like that inside his own penalty area? His foot's 4.5 foot off the ground. Alonso making no mistake. Hasselbank looking for Reed, who's moved into a further wide position today. Here come Liverpool again. Bellamy in behind, around the goalkeeper, and off the line by the captain, Luke Young. And I don't think Bellamy realised Gonzalez was up to support him to his left. Lots of good movement from Bellamy and Kaut, though, in the opening minutes. Charlton's problems have not been entirely down to recent form. They've picked up just 31 points in this calendar year in 36 games. And that is relegation form. Bellamy to Kaut, back again to Bellamy, and once more onside. Lovely approach work, not a good finish. But I think you'll find Traore got back just in time. Lovely interchange between Liverpool's first choice striking partnership. Traore just got back. Did he get a touch on it? The referee thought so. Traore with the corner, low and flat all the way in there, and a real chance for Dirk Kuyt. Should have scored from 5 yards out. They could have been 3-0 up inside a quarter of an hour. Traore. Young. Couldn't control it. Kaut, Gonzalez. Liverpool working the ball well. Bellamy, good run, intelligent, pulls it back. Pennant off the line spectacularly by Jimmy Traore. He redeems himself for the earlier error. He gave away the penalty, but he's just stopped it becoming 2-0. This is Luke Young in possession. Thought about leaving Charlton in the summer. Eventually was persuaded to stay. This is Hasselbank. Romadal, good run off him. Into Bent, and Charlton have a corner. As they try to preserve an unbeaten run of 5 games on this ground. Corner to the far stick and headed away by Risa. And they won't preserve that unbeaten home run like that. Young. Acres of space for Reid. Liverpool have gone to sleep at the back. Reid goes for goal. Pushed out. Oh, and somehow Herman Hreidarsson couldn't find the target. Reid had cunningly stayed wide. As Liverpool streamed out, he was onside. Rayner spilled it. And Hreidarsson, leaning off the ball, lifted it over. And now Gonzalez. Bellamy making a jaunty run. Karkouri dangerously isolated with it. Still Bellamy. Count, side foots it. Playing really well, Craig Bellamy today. Perky. Again, Count is in surely a yard too much space. It was deflected through to him, and he went to place it and placed it wide. 3 minutes into the second half. Pennant and Alonso, just 2 in that Liverpool wall. And Al Karkouri can hit them, but he floats that one. Rayner juggled, caught, and clears Teresa. Break on. Xabi Alonso. 3 to his right-hand side. Pennant is one of them. Count is in there if Pennant can get the ball in quickly. Has to go wide. 4 men back in the middle. Pennant picks up Gerrard. Almost came to Count. Still the danger not over. Gerrard again. Xabi Alonso went for precision, and that is a fine save. A really good save because he's peering into very glassy, wintry sunshine. Xabi Alonso had one thing in mind when it came back to him, and he was bending it beautifully. Lovely shot. Right hand up and over. Liverpool again with a headed opportunity, and it came through to Gonzalez. Jacket off. Charlton this season off the rails. I cannot remember Charlton getting the ball out of their own half in this second half. Risa. Oh, it's come all the way here to Bellamy. Count making the run off him and gets the shot away and off the post, and desperately unlucky. But the Charlton coach will not believe that a throw-in got all that way into the box. Bellamy, Count, deliberately went for there and saw it come back off the post. Goalkeeper was beaten. He'll know his team has to take these chances, though. Bellamy. Into Count. Lovely movement. Really good exchange between the two. Bellamy always looking to see where his strike partner was. Count needs to sharpen up his finishing. Hughes, well played. Romadal. Can he provide some spark for Charlton? This is Ambrose! It just could have turned their season. A reminder to Liverpool, they are not yet home and hosed. Romadal, lovely ball. And Ambrose struck it with venom, but not accuracy. Hasselbank, holding off Carragher. He still has it, he needs support. Romadal is there, dummies it. Karkouri into the middle. There's Ambrose, there's Darren Bent. Oh, and it was so close for a Charlton equaliser. Well, Liverpool should have won this game comfortably by now, but Charlton, almost at the death, very nearly got out of jail. It's 9 hours of Premiership football since Liverpool last conceded a goal. On by Hreidarsson. Pennant. They have to win games like this when they have dominated. Finnan. Garcia. Finnan left-footed. Bellamy's crept away from his marker. Fine ball, fine finish, fine goal, fine win. Charlton 0, Liverpool 2. They have thoroughly deserved it. A very good performance by Craig Bellamy. He's deserved a goal. Poor defending. From that position, Liverpool shouldn't score. One pass in, one touch. Lovely finish. It's taken an age to come, but Liverpool have their second, and they have the points. Bellamy can celebrate. Charlton fans boo. Long, hard, desperate months lie ahead. Here's Finnan. Xabi Alonso. Crouch. Gerrard. He's placed it magnificently. And Liverpool have had a pre-Christmas romp in the capital. Crouch won it. They almost had an embarrassment of riches in there. And Gerrard curling it magnificently in for his 4th goal in 6 games. Gerrard is back in form. Liverpool, on the evidence of this, are on the march. Charlton are on the way down.
I think the best thing I can take from that is that we had a little 10-minute spell where Liverpool had left the door open for us, and we might have, against all the odds, got a draw when we had 2 chances about 15 minutes from the end. Didn't take those chances and then got punished, put the game beyond doubt. But, you know, that's about all I can take from that.
You must be very pleased with that performance.
You must be happy, yeah. I think that we scored 3 goals, good goals, and also we could score 3 or 4 more goals, and we create a lot of chances, a lot of opportunities. We have another clean sheet. A lot of positive news for us.
Well, there's only 1 goal in it. You know, no matter who's dominating the game, there's always, you know, Charlton always had a chance. And they missed a good chance just before we got our second. So we knew the second goal would be vital. We knew as soon as we got the second, it would be all over. But it took us a while to get that second, which really shouldn't have.
You have confidence in your ability to turn things around?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'm still a great believer. I think we'll get ourselves out of this. We'll strengthen the squad. We'll work hard, and we'll get the fans back behind us again, and we'll work hard to get out of it.
They'll have to. It doesn't get much easier than that for Liverpool, does it?
Well, in the end, it could have been anything. It could have been 8, 10, 12. It was a real Charlton horror show. It's as bad as it gets. In fact, I can't remember a worse performance in the Premiership.
Really?
Honestly, it was just...
Despite that dominance, though, and it was only a few minutes to go before they actually settled.
Well, they had a couple of good chances at 1-0, and the second goal for Liverpool would sum up because they never at any stage get tight. They never close down, and any bit of pace and movement just decimates them. This actually comes from a throw-in. Finnan takes it here. Right. No pressure on the ball whatsoever. Alonso comes short, plays it back. And then we circle 5 Liverpool players that it's options, alternatives. Ironically, the one that scores the goal is the one that's getting picked up. But the 2 centre-backs get split. We've said it time and time again. Can't afford that. The shaded area is... My granny could tell you that's where the danger is. And I'm not... It's a great finish, but the defending is totally inept.
And even Charlton's better players seem to suffer today, didn't they? I mean, they've got some decent names in their side.
Well, you look at the right-back, Luke Young, who's played for England, and I could consider him to be solid, reliable, resolute. Hardly ever makes a mistake. In the first 15 minutes here, he's made 4 mistakes. Leads to the first goal, just a bad clearance. He's in the right-back position, and, you know, you've got to make sure you clear your lines here. Even kick it into row Z or whatever, but it's a bad one straight to Gonzalez, and then obviously that's unbelievably bad for Jimmy Traore. But again, he's just behind his centre-back here, but just behind's too far. He's playing Bellamy onside. Can't afford to get behind your centre-back on the other side from where the ball is. Same here, gets himself in a terrible position here. Plays Cout onside this time. Bad position. Should score.
Up there.
Well, of course he's got to be further up, and Cout's offside. He should have scored there. And then finally, you know, bad touch, loses control, out of position again. Liverpool breaking numbers. Eventually it comes to Bellamy. who squares it to Pennant, and Troy does well to get off the line. You know, and I'm not picking him because he was the worst player.
It was a general ineptitude.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, it's like a comedy of errors. I mean, I really don't want to show this because it is that bad. I mean, this is Traore on the ball there. He gets a break there. He comes to Fye. I mean, you know, what is all that about? Come on, what is it? You know, and then, again, the two players here collide virtually. Lack of communication that set Liverpool back in possession. Then Holland here, bad pass, Liverpool break, not a great ball through, but the keeper comes in the act, he miskicks it. Liverpool back in possession again, comes to Gerrard, you know, see him hit them, score from there. And then the last two, this comes to Ambrose. Well, and then Jimmy, what are you doing here? I mean, just... And you feel sorry for them because that is an all-time low. And you look at that performance and say, where do they go from here? Because it's so difficult now for them to get back into any sort of winning and cohesion and whatever it takes to get back in, you know, to avoid relegation.
You've got Christmas coming, you get a lot of games, something, you know, you never know.
Yeah, an eternal optimist you are.
Well, that's why I scored a few. Needed to be, the amount I missed.